Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California. We got another video here today. It's going to be on jumping. We're putting a little bit of a spin on what we're currently been doing, which is focused mostly on like the speed mechanics. I'm going to go a little bit more into jumping mechanics, and the reason being is because there's such an important part of that vertical motion that we would always talk about in speed that applies so much to jump, and I think within the jump applies back to speed. Another thing is that there's a lot of, I think, value in being able to get an overall higher jump. And there's certain mechanics I think we can go over that would be able to, again, help you as a sprinter and improve there. And then also, honestly, help you as a thrower. Okay, I think that the more videos that I watch, the more times I see Aaron Rodgers throw a 70-yard bomb or Tom Brady throw a 70-yard bomb, the more vertical force that I see in that movement pattern in comparison to where I see a lot of guys where I'm doing the breakdowns where it's too much horizontal movement. It's all, just this movement, and it's never a kind of that movement. It's never using the ground to get that vertical press like some of these guys do very, very well. So with that being said, we'll get into some more jump stuff but when we go to jump stuff, we want to make it so it is kind of specific to improving on the jump. And so we're going to start today with the comparison of jumping off of 2 legs compared to jumping off of 1 leg. And the great thing about understanding the differences here is the types of stabilization needed. So when you're jumping off of 2 legs, essentially the big part of stabilization comes from your ability to maintain a good position in your pelvis and a good position in your spine. Because if you're going on 2 legs and if you start to shift in your pelvis to either side or shift to their spine to either side, or if you lose good control of your spine angle, now you're going to negatively impact your ability to jump. Now, when it comes to the single leg jump, it is much more about how well you're able to stabilize within the individual leg, right? Because if I'm here and I'm going to go down, of course I'm going to end up having some shifting of the pelvis because I'm on 1 leg. Of course I'm going to end up having some spine tilt because I'm on 1 leg. But what I don't want to lose is my ability to maintain good position in my foot. I don't want to lose good position in my ankle, or sorry, my knee, and I don't want to lose good position within my femur, my actual hip. Pelvis, I can. Hip, I do not want to lose that, okay? And the difference is just kind of the bone, right? It's really the femur goes into the pelvis, and so really you don't want to lose good position of the femur. You're going into the science part of it. But so going backwards, let's go to the bilateral vertical jump or 2-leg vertical jump. And what we don't want to lose there and what's going to be important. So again, we're thinking pelvis and we're thinking spine. What really controls that is going to be core. So in order for you to have a great vertical jump, you have to be able to maximize your core. And that is in all 3 planes, and that is in all different segments. So let's get clear on what the core is. The pure core is your abs, right? You have 2 different abs there, your transverse abdominis or transverse abdominals, and then also your rectus abdominis. We have our obliques, we have our QL, we have our glutes, we have our spinal erector. So it essentially goes all the way around. That all has to be active. It's not like you can only have one part of it that's working well. Additionally, what we have to be able to do is we also have to be able to have the body control and body awareness to know that if I'm going and I'm loading here, how to maximize my ability to actually load. It's all about deceleration, acceleration. We talk about that a lot in speed. So if I'm going to go here, if I'm going to try to go and jump as high as I can up in the air, what I don't want to do is I don't want to load here and make it look like I'm doing a broad jump, where I see that a lot, right? So we want to make sure we're keeping everything as much upright as we can. And we also want to be, again, thinking about not adding too much of a lateral shift from one side to the other, and also not losing too much of spine control. There's different people that have different types of spine angles. So, there's going to be some more people that are going to be a little bit more arched. There's going to be some people that are going to be a little bit more bent over, but having a good maximization of both of them is going to really help you in being able to jump better off of 2 feet, and trying to get an understanding and awareness of how your loading is going to be key in making sure you improve your overall jump. Now, going into the single leg jump. In order for you to maximize your single leg jump, what you've got to be able to do is you've got to be able to control how well you really load onto the outside part of the foot. The reason I say that is because the better you can get on the outside part of the foot, now as you go into actually jumping off the ground, you can better utilize your force in coming from the outside part of the foot to the inside part of the foot. okay? You don't want to, if you end up too much on the inside, I mean, really you don't want to at all be pushing kind of outwards like that. You want to be going more on the outside to the inside. If you have the muscle overall strength, you could probably start on the inside part of the foot, on the back part of the foot, and then just go straight up to the front if you have to kind of that foot stabilization. I know for me, I'm going to try to start a little bit more on the outside part of the foot and transition to the balls of your feet. The big part is that you, again, don't want to lose your ability to stabilize within these three joints. So if you go and you lose the foot control and you're already here, now you're going to lose the knee, and now you're basically going to be jumping from a not good power position. So ensuring that you're maximizing, again, your loading effectiveness is going to be key in making it so you can really ensure proper acceleration. And one thing too that's going to be important for both jumps, and I'll go and do a single leg jump right here, is making sure that the same way that you load is a similar action, similar movement to how you deload or how you stop, right? So I'm going to jump, I'll go one leg. So how I load here is also going to be similar to how I want to stop. I don't want to be loading here and then going to jump and then end up here, right? So really taking into consideration, or on the opposite side, I don't want to start loading here and then land and then jump and land into a good position. You don't want to be all over the place. It wants to be very, very focused, and it wants to have a lot of overall understanding of what I do on one jump, what I do in one motion should be, or how I load from one motion to the next motion should be very, very mirrored, very, very similar. So you can then therefore repeat, right? You want to make it a very repeatable action, not something that's all out of control. So we're going to get a little bit more into the jump stuff because I think that's very, very crucial in developing an overall athlete and also making sure that we're reducing injury risk. There's a ton of landing stuff that we get into that I think we haven't done a good enough job of explaining all the things that go into injury prevention. I think that jumping and jump training is an excellent way to get into great injury prevention stuff. So looking forward to providing more value to you guys. If you have any questions, send me an email, Morey, M-O-R-E-Y, @yourperformancelab.com. As always, thanks for watching our videos, and we will see you soon.